filming.
So Josh, what have you learnt about the technologies from the processes let's just start that again. You don't need to just cut it.
We'll cut it.
So Josh, what have you learnt about technologies from the process of constructing this product?
Well, I've learned a large amount of information about Photoshop in particular. At first, our experimentation was to a low standard, as you can see there. So I only used like more simplistic tools, such as like cutting something really simply, or just creating a clipping mask. But I did create a varying amount of different typographies, so there was still some form of variation. When we revisited the idea of typography, we made a huge quality progression from the previous experiments, utilising different techniques such as the motion and Gaussian blur tools, converting to smart objects, the liquify tool, and changing the layer types. The typography itself became much more relevant to our genre and ultimately to our film itself. As you can see here, the background to the opening of the film is used as the background to the typography instead of the plain boring black. This made it kind of more effective and more symbolic towards the film. And then the idea of the typography came from the idea that the killing is being a stalker. So the idea that it's written in a window is like he's looking out at the victim. And it kind of makes the typography itself directed at the victim, also adding a sort of personal and intimate edge to the film.
Thank you.
Chloe. So what have you learned about technologies from the process of constructing this product?
Well, I've learnt a lot during this experience, but mainly through editing, as I edited both our independent production company logo and our professional one, which in our first one we used as Blumhouse production companies. And I also edited in a twig snap sound that I made using celery, and I made sure I dragged it into the right place, cut it in length, and made it fit with our film opening. I also edited in all of the new clips that we'd filmed on our second day of filming and cut them and dragged them into the right place of our film opening, just so that the continuity editing was smooth. I also edited in the stream sound effect, which we used a tilt shot, as I filmed with the victim laying over the edge of the path next to the stream, as you can see in my blog. I also edited in Josh's production company logo, which I cut to the appropriate length, and also added a sound effect of a burning piece of paper just to make it more professional and more effective. I also edited in Blumhouse production company logo to our film opening when we made our first draft. However, we did end up changing this to Lionsgate Horrors production company logo.
Brilliant, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello Lucy.
Hello.
So Lucy, what have you learned about technologies from filming this opening scene? Well, using Final Cut Pro, I learned how to edit both clips and sound, particularly sound, to make the opening look professional. I learned how to blade the sound to match the clips with the I learned how to blade the sound to match the clips with the sound, which then enabled me to learn how to adjust the volume of the different sections of our song and add fades to the beginning or end of the sound clips to match the action in the clips.
Interesting.
Wow. Due to my knowledge of cutting and adjusting the different sound clips, I was also able to layer different sounds over each other, as you can see here. This created a full sound for certain clips. Like if the music coming through the earphones was quieter due to the victim being further away, I laid a sound clip which I detached from one of our other shots where you could hear the sound of birds and of the stream. To edit this clip, I removed the background noise so you could just hear the bird in the stream and not like wind and like noise that would be unprofessional, you know? As you can see. Putting this clip in gave the effect that the music wasn't at full volume so the victim could still hear background sounds. I also learned how to manipulate sound using iMovie. On iMovie, there are different effects you can use to create different sound clips, as you can see here. Sound clips. I manipulated the song 2 times, once using the phone effect, as this made it quieter and muffled so it sounded like it was coming through the earphones, and once using the multitune effect, which distorted it and made it sound broken for when the victim dropped her phone. Wow. Thank you very much, Eve.
So, Eve, what have you learned about technologies from the process of constructing this product?
Well, my area in constructing this product was filming. So when we filmed our final product, we used my camera. And throughout this experience, I have learned how to use a camera professionally. So as you can see here from my blog, I did lighting checks at 8:30 in the morning, which was when we filmed our final product. So I also used different camera shots, such as this pan shot, which is in the opening of our filming. This looked very effective once it had been completed and it was shown in our final product. Another process that we'd learned as a group was how to construct our stabbing scene. Originally, this is what it looked like. It's pretty awful. But then afterwards, I did some research into characters being stabbed and their reaction shots, as you can see here from my blog. And we also managed to plan and construct the stabbing scene much more professionally. Here is a shot of the final stab scene. So as you can see, the camera is less shaky and the stab looks more professional and realistic. So to make the camera less shaky, we used a tripod for the step and stab scene, as we found it hard to get the right angle originally. And we also used food colouring and food gel to make the blood look more realistic, rather than using real animal blood, which looked real in real life, but then on camera it looked muddy and unprofessional. And so before we filmed the stab, we prepared it, so we basically put the knife through the hoodie beforehand, so there wouldn't be any difficulty when we actually filmed it. And then we also covered the knife and the stab wound with the fake blood before, so we got it just the way we wanted to. So by preparing this shot, it looked much more professional compared to how we originally went through it, which we just did it straight away, and that made it look unprofessional. Thank you.